this wax removal made me really angry. And I don't get angry very often, but this poor patient's backstory, this was actually a 10-year-old boy who's been suffering with earwax problems for a long time. And they've been referred to the hospital to get this done, and the consultant had attempted to get it done. But because the consultant was causing some discomfort for this poor little patient while they were doing their removal, and the patient started to cry, the consultant just downed tools and said, no, I'm not prepared to do it because your son is just crying too much for us to do it. It's just ridiculous. Why on earth are you being that rough, or you don't need to cause discomfort to a patient, and especially to a 10-year-old. This is just ridiculous. We managed to get this out. This lovely kid, he sat through this entire procedure perfectly happy. I spent time before he went in just showing him all the tools, what we were going to do, but he was so nervous about having it done because he'd had such a terrible experience with another practitioner that he was absolutely petrified. You don't need, this procedure is not an uncomfortable procedure. If it's uncomfortable, either the patient needs to prepare the wax just a little bit more often, a little bit better, or you're just being too rough with it. You don't need to do it. The reason I feel so passionate about this, my background is in pediatrics. I worked in pediatrics in the hospital. I loved working with kids. I think it's one of the most rewarding jobs I ever did. I love my job now as well, but that was super duper rewarding working with kids. And I just think there's no need. You don't need to be like that, especially when you're dealing with a pediatric patient. They're going to be nervous. They don't understand. They're little, and you need to take time reassuring this patient. I can understand why the consultant had difficulty. This is a difficult wax removal to do. The wax is super sticky. It's really stringy. You can see I'm having to use the St. Bart's hook here to get this out. But this lovely kid, he sat through the entire thing with a smile on his face. I just don't understand why they had such a bad experience before. How rough was the person being to cause that much distress to a patient? It's just, anyway, rant over, guys, sorry. It just particularly frustrated me. So we managed to get this out really, really well. It's coming away. I said, yes, it's sticky. Yes, it's awkward, but we're attacking it really, really well here for the patient. It's coming away really nicely. I'm constantly checking in both with the little boy and his mum, making sure they're both happy. In fact, we were having a lovely conversation about TV programs, or actually, I think it was gaming. We were talking about this, and he felt completely settled. He was doing really, really well for me. I explained, it's sticky. We're having a bit of difficulty, but it is coming away. Are you happy for me to continue? And he was, but it was just a tough one because it was really stringy, just because it had been in here for so long, love him. Because he's been struggling with this for years, and trying to find help to get this out, the parent found really, really difficult to find someone who could do it. Another bugbear of mine at the moment is I'm seeing so many practitioners saying they can deal with pediatrics on websites. Local people are popping up to us with very little experience in wax removal dealing with pediatrics. Oh my goodness me, guys! You're talking about a normal size ear canal, but condensed down. Dealing with it blows my mind. Do me a favor, guys. If you book, let me do this. 3.5 centimeters, an inch and a half. Sorry, guys, I got distracted all the way through that because I was just so incensed by it. If you're going to see somebody, if you've got a pediatric patient and you're going to get their wax removed, please just do me a favor and really do your due diligence about who you're going to see. Get their background. Ideally you want someone who has had experience working with pediatrics if you can. It makes a massive difference. It really does. It really, really does. Okay, rant over. Let's concentrate on this patient now, sorry. Oh, maybe tamp. So what you can see here, we've got this lovely guy come through. He is feeling really, really blocked up. Basically, he had a bath and got out of the bath and his ear felt really blocked. Now, that is a really good indication for us as far as wax is concerned. You kind of got a good idea that there's probably a wax problem going on there. If you've got a patient, they're blocking up when they get water in their ears, it's usually an indication they've got a bit of wax and the water's getting behind the wax and blocking it up. You can see here what's happened is the plug has moved very, very deeply. So I don't think the patient's been using Q-tips. I think they just happened to have a plug that probably had a gap along it, which was allowing the sound through. So they didn't realize they had a wax problem. And that happens more often than people realize. They go in the bath, the water softens the wax and it moves. And that's what's happened here. It's gone really, really deep. But we've got the first section, which was quite a big old chunky plug. But now we're working on this back section here. So we're just going to lift this out. You can see it's quite firmly wedged down in there. I'm breaking little pieces off, so it is coming away, but we're just getting this last sort of section on the move. You can see I'm working around the edge like a clock face, work it all the way around, just trying to find any part that we can loosen. And I'm opting here to lift from the bottom. Now I find that works quite effectively for a lot of wax plugs, especially these deeper ones. Sometimes when you're pulling from the top, you kind of fold it forwards, but you're leaving a lot down in that recess. If you lift from the bottom and you get the recess moving first, it tends to bring the whole thing out a little bit easier. So there we go. It's quite a thick plug though, this last bit. There we go. You can see this piece is just kind of almost imploding into the suction tube there. And let's see if we can grab. There we go. Oops, nearly there. Just trying to give this a little bit of a wiggle away. It's all sort of the central sections come away now. So now we're kind of pulling the sides in. Now this is going to give us a little bit of leeway. Before it was a solid plug. So as you were pulling the side sections, that middle section was holding everything and keeping that structure, that shape to the plug. But now we've got rid of that middle section. Look how the sides are all imploding down there. There we go, all pulled away. Out that comes. There we are. Looking lovely. Really, really nice big plug, that one. Just got this bottom section here. Let's start to lift this and look at the anterior recess section going all the way up there into the anterior recess. Let's see if we can lift this. This is a delicate one now. Can we lift all of this out? Is it going to stay together? Is it just going to all crunch down? Sometimes what I'll do at this point, I'll put a little bit of olive oil in depending on how it's moving. Sometimes with the oil down there, it just helps to lift everything out in one go. It's really sticky. Look at that. It doesn't want to come away. If I put some oil in there, look at the difference having the oil in there makes. Now watch this. So you can see how sticky it just didn't want to budge before. There we go. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Look at the difference that makes. Out, it just kind of slides. I use the term greased weasel a lot. I don't know if that's a colloquial thing down here. But it's come away really, really nicely. Look at that. You can see a couple of little splodges there. But that's really soft wax. That's going to come away with the patient's next bath or shower. So that's absolutely fine. And what we've got here now is a much thicker, darker plug on the other side. Looks a little bit harder, a little bit more structure to the wax on this one, just because of the age of it. On the live Q&A we did the other day, somebody asked the question, how do you know about how old a piece of wax is? It is, you know, if it's darker, as a rule of thumb, the darker the wax is, and the harder it is, the older that piece of wax is, and that's what's happened here. Similar story though, we've got another deep section here. A little bit more crumbly, which makes it just that little bit easier to remove. Oh, there we go. Everything is jumping up to the suction tube, which is absolutely fab for us at the moment. Now you saw that little bit of resistance to that last section that lifted there. That little bit of resistance is just where it's holding into one of the recesses normally. So we're just going to pull this. It's probably the anterior recess, which is why I'm working on that left-hand side. They're just trying to walk it out of the recess if we can. Can we get this top section? Can we get this section out of the recess? Oh, it's starting to move. It's starting to go. Let's work on the other side. So you can see me working left, right, top, bottom. It's just kind of pulling these sections all the way down. There we go. Look at that bit of movement. The whole thing kind of almost turned on its end there. Out that comes. There we go. And oh, this bottom section, it crumbled that bottom section out, but we've still got this top piece which is holding on for dear life here. So let's hold this, let's draw this down. Is it going to bring everything down in one go? Only one way to tell is when it comes out. We'll see what's going on behind it. Out that comes. There you go. All the way out. Let's take a look behind that. Oh my goodness, it did hold another section. This is a very, very deep section. It's very thin. There we are. Look at that peel away. Do you see how that almost came away like a carpet? Almost sort of lifted off the eardrum there and came away really nicely. Did a little bit just break off there? Yes, it did. There we go. The top section there. Lift that away. Look at all that skin peeling away. There was anchoring everything into place. Looks lovely and healthy. Good light reflex there. So we have 3.5 centimeters, 1 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to go with that one. Guys, sorry about the rant earlier. It just, frustrates me. So thank you so much for watching our video again today. If you did enjoy the video, you can always like, heart, share, follow, and subscribe for me. If you do enjoy the videos, then make sure, sorry, I've done that bit. See, I'm all at 6s and 7s. If you have ear problems yourself, There you go, that's what I was trying to say. Make sure you check out the link tree in the description. Book yourself an appointment to see myself or the lovely Mr. Taylor Green, who will be gracing our screens again soon. We didn't actually get a session this week because we did the live, so we didn't get a session together of the video to record the video, so we're going to do that next week. But as always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your ears, take care of one another. I'm going to go and have a rant somewhere else now. Bye, everyone.